Mysterious weapons of antiquity, the magical swords. In the old days, if they wanted to hunt for food, they killed animals with a spear or an arrow, with clever traps, things like that. But often weapons like swords had a secret and mysterious powerful power. Men often stated that when they entered a very dangerous situation, their weapons began to act by themselves without the direct intervention of the person who owns them, and this was the only way to save their owner's life. Thus, weapons often displayed not only a lethal power, but also a beneficial protective one to their owners. If the person had respect for their weapon, they often gave it a name. Our ancestors were sure that weapons could have strong feelings, such as love and hate. In the Far East, for example, they always created swords in pairs, considering them as pairs that could communicate with each other. Can you believe that? The mysterious power of a knife. They put a knife on a newborn and also under the threshold of the house to scare away evil spirits. The knife may protect the marriage from misfortune, and in the hands of a skilled shaman, it became a mystical object for healing and the performance of sacred rituals. Many people, especially those who have preserved the traditions of hunters, the knife is the first thing that a father gives to his son. Magical beliefs are also existed on other weapons, for example, a hammer. Since ancient times, a hammer has been considered the symbol of power. It is no coincidence that it's held in the hands of the pharaohs, and that is what the communists of Europe had as their symbol, along with the sickle. The axe belonged to household equipment, but it was also a formidable weapon. The battle axe was usually equipped with a hollow handle that had a dagger inside it. In other cases, a short sword was placed inside the handle of the hammer. But perhaps the real weapon, and the most common in antiquity, was the spear. This type of weapon has been known since ancient times. The spear has typically been associated with gods, kings, and heroes, and the spear is considered the mystical object. The possessor of the spear can rule the whole world. The most common throwing weapon is the bow. Almost all nationalities used it. There were arrows that easily broke through shields. The best archer shot at least 12 arrows per minute. Many battles of the Middle Ages were won thanks to archers and their ability to aim. The sword is the protagonist of any legend. Historians believe that the Sumerians invented the battle sword. The sword is also a symbol of wisdom, and in the Buddhist religion and in Buddhism, it's a weapon of knowledge and truth. In Mongolia and China, there's a cult of this weapon, and the masters, quote-unquote, know the secrets of creating the blades. In Europe, swords were an attribute of power. In the case of the removal of the sword from the belt of its owner, this meant a loss of power. There was a belief that if the deceased was very militant during his life, his sword was buried with him in order to protect him from the revenge of the dead. Knights faced their swords as their companions in battle. Losing the sword had been considered a disgrace. Among the swords, there were also some that possessed magical properties. For example, they could defend their owner in battle or make an enemy flee from the panic that they caused. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.